Hello everybody, welcome to One Drink, a podcast where we talk about one topic for one drink. I'm Matthew, and today we're talking about the Walkman. You're probably like, the Walkman, what? So yes, I've decided to start a series on the 1980s. I wanted to go back and talk about all the cool, funny things that I had growing up. I grew up in the 80s, and there were so many different cool, crazy things that are unfortunately not with us now, but so many memories, and I just thought it would be cool to go back in time and pick one thing from the 80s, regardless if it's a movie or anything from the 80s. We're gonna have one drink, talk about the one topic I pick, and go from there. I mean, there's millions and millions of things from the 80s. I mean, it's crazy when you look back and you think about, you know, everything that went on in the 80s compared to what it is now. A lot different. But yeah, so I'm gonna start a series on the 1980s. Hopefully you guys will like it. Hopefully it'll bring back some memories, and then, you know, give me some ideas. And if you want to come on the show and talk 80s with me, let's do it. That's why the series is here. So one thing that I'm doing different is that I'm on TikTok Live, something I've never done before. So if there's any questions that come in from the TikTok Live, I'm gonna answer them, you know, while doing the show. I'm not sure how it works, but you know, I'll figure it out as it goes. I'm sure nobody's watching anyways, but it is what it is. But I do have a question for everyone out there. What is your favorite thing that you remember or that you like in the 1980s? Think about it. Think about it. Yeah, so me in the 1980s, growing up, you know, everyone in my neighborhood had a bike. I wanted a BMX bike so bad. The one with the plastic spokes, the plastic, oh man, it was navy blue. I can see it now. I wanted that bike so damn bad, and I believe it's on its coming back. Not so much for bike riding, but for the collector's editions, people who are collecting 80s BMX bikes. So yes, that was my one thing that I wanted the most, was a BMX bike. My mom actually did get me one. I had it for a little bit. I mean, I'm a kid trying wheelies, trying to do all this crazy stuff. Crashed it, broke it, you know, normal kid stuff. So yeah, it was fun. So let me know what your favorite 80s thing that you remember, or that you liked, or still have. I still have a couple things from the 80s that I'm going to do in a future show. That's going to be pretty surprising and pretty funny as well. So, the Walkman. That is today what we're talking about. 1980 when it came out. I had to have one. I'm sure everybody had to have one. We all wanted to walk around with music. So, I remember when I first got mine. First of all, the Walkman, what is it? The Walkman is a portable audio player manufactured and marketed by Sony since 1980. The original Walkman was a portable cassette player. Yes, that's right, a cassette player. And its popularity made Walkman an unofficial term for the personal stereo of any producer or brand. So, a Walkman. I know there's probably a lot of young people on here that are like, what the hell is a Walkman? So, a big square thing, there's a picture behind. You put a tape in and you hit play, and you get these skinny little headphones to put on. Oh, it was amazing. For me, well, you know, you would push play, and when you had to rewind something, it's a tape, of course, not a CD, not digital, not streaming like it is now. You had to stop, rewind, or wait until the tape stopped, and then you had to flip it over and put it in. So, I just wanted to let you know that you can listen to our beautiful voices on all major platforms. Yes, we are on all major platforms podcasts are played. So yeah, if you're running, jogging, anything, you don't have to watch us on YouTube. You can, you should. But also, yeah, you can listen to us. All major platforms. Right, Zaya? That's right. Even Zaya knows. I always, of course, when it came out, I had to get one. And I always had to use it while riding my bike. Now, I was a small little kid growing up, of course. When I attached it to my belt, it was just so huge. But I always used it while I was riding my bike. So, and of course, back then you weren't supposed to have any head music on. I guess that was the law back then. I really don't remember. But it was a pain in the ass because when you're riding your bike and the tape stops, you gotta, while you're riding your bike, or if you were cool and went no-handed and all that, you could do it no-handed and flip the tape and all that. But yeah, what a pain in the ass to what it is now. Everything now is obviously easier, smaller, this and that. But the Walkman, I believe, no one uses one in this day and age. No one. I don't have mine from where it, do I have mine still? I had a whole box of like goodies that when I moved from house to house to house. And I thought the Walkman was in there, but I can't remember if it was. But I do have a few things from the 80s to now that are going to be on the show that we're going to talk about. So in 1985, a Walkman cost between $69 and $99, which translates today between $168 and $241 in today's dollars. Crazy, right? So it was $50 to $100, and you can get all different kinds. And when the Walkman evolved, you know, they tried to come up with waterproof ones and rain-resistant ones and all this other stuff. And no matter what, it never got smaller because it had to hold the tape. But yeah, it was great. And yes, they played tapes, which is non-existent anymore as well. I'm sure there are some tape players and people with tapes that still play them, but for this generation, or if you have kids or any kids growing up now, they probably don't even know what a tape is, unfortunately. But that will be obviously another show in the 80s, because the 80s has endless amounts of cool stuff for us to talk about. So I have two older brothers. My older brother got one. I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. My other brother got one. I was like, oh, Mom, I need a Walkman. So I got a hand-me-down Walkman from my brother after he didn't use it anymore. It still worked. It was all taped together. It had to, you know, where you put the batteries in, that broke off, but I still taped it up and I still used it. And then finally, when I was, for one of my birthdays, I forgot when it was, my mom got me a brand new Walkman with a new headset and riding my bike, of course, and it fell off my hip and then smashed all over the ground, and that was my experiment with a Walkman when I was a little kid. My mom was not going to buy me another one because, you know, back in the day, the 50 to 100 bucks was a lot of money. So yes, the Walkman. Let me know your story about the Walkman if you have one, if you even know what one is, or even if it is on the comeback, which it's not, I know. But a lot of people are doing records. Records are on the comeback. Instead of getting the digital version, a lot of people are collecting records nowadays, which is pretty cool. I never had a record player, but I have a lot of records. I moved into my grandma's house and she left over a ton of records that maybe they're valuable, most likely they're not, but A record player, I do not have. So, that was it for this series of the 80s, the Walkman. God, it brings back so many memories. I hope some of you comment, let me know if you've had a Walkman, know what a Walkman is. What was your first tape that you heard in your Walkman? Let me know all of that. And that is the first show of my 80s series. They're not going to be long unless I have a lot to ramble about. I just want to bring back, all the 80s stuff that, needs to be talked about. And I'm here to do it. Thanks for watching, and you can listen to us on all major platforms. Podcasts are played. If you have any ideas, or if you want to be a guest on the show and talk about some 80s topics, pick one topic, we'll have one drink, and we'll have fun with it. So that is it, and until next time, see ya.